Welcome to all grade 12 students who need to write and present a speech for the English Home Language Common Assessment task for 2020. This online video lesson should assist you to deliver the best speech possible. If you think other matrics could benefit from this video, please like it, share it, and subscribe to the channel. In this way, we can assist as many South African students as possible. By now you are familiar with the requirements of this year's CAT task, analyzing pertinent issues of our time through the lens of cartoonists. You should have thought deeply about these questions, given in the IEB CAT task document. My students have completed tasks 1, 2, and 3 of the assignment. They have collected and submitted their resources for the essay, task 4, which will be written when they return to school for term 3. Today's video lesson will provide the background information for task 5, the formal speech. This image is taken from page 6 of your document as provided by the IEB. It provides the instructions for the formal speech, in which you persuade your audience that cartoonists should have the freedom to express their opinions in their chosen art form, or that they should not be allowed such freedom. Also from the provided task sheet is this infogram. Your speech must be a well-structured, persuasive speech, which shows that you have reflected deeply on the issues raised in this task. Your speech must be supported by research and personal reflection, and the delivery of your speech should be powerful and convincing. You will find the rubric for the speech on pages 11 and 12 of the task sheet. You need to study it carefully so as to familiarize yourself with the various criteria. The first category covers the structure of your speech. You'll be assessed on the depth and quality of your research and planning, as well as your choice of visual aids. Most importantly, your speech will be judged on its substance, how thought-provoking it is. The rubric requires you to choose your register and vocabulary wisely, demonstrating that you know what type of language suits the occasion. The delivery of your speech needs to be lively and interesting, making use of persuasive language devices. Before you panic, let me reassure you, you can do this, and do it well. We're going to break the task into easily manageable steps. You should already have an opinion on the usage of cartoons in society. For this speech, you need to decide on your point of view, that cartoons are a positive influence, or that they can be divisive, even dangerous. Your topic needs to fall in the middle of these overlapping circles, this triple Venn diagram. It's not enough to know about the topic. You need to love what you're saying to your audience, an audience that cares about these issues. This is probably the toughest part of speech preparation, deciding what you're going to speak about. The second step is planning. You may use any method that suits your style of gathering information. You also need to find no more than 3 cartoons to illustrate your point of view. You're welcome to use other visual aids, as long as they add value to your speech. These aids are for practical illustrative purposes. They are not for decoration. Don't forget, the speech must be between 4 to 5 minutes in length. That's long. You won't be able to wing it. If you haven't already done so, please read through these resources provided for you by the IEB. You will find this on page 7 of the task sheet. Remember the FLAP acronym from your essay preparation? The format is stipulated: a formal speech, a presentation. The language must be formal, academic, and sophisticated. Your audience is an international organization such as UNESCO. In other words, you are speaking to educated, politically aware people who have some authority to implement decisions. The purpose of your presentation is to persuade your audience that your considered point of view is the correct one. It doesn't matter if your planning page looks like this. It's about the function of the page, not the form. Jot down your ideas, organize them into categories. From this mess, your speech will take shape. The speech must be persuasive. You must convince your audience of your point of view. There are numerous techniques that you can utilize that will result in a logical, credible, and emotional text that will leave a lasting impression on your audience. We'll follow the advice of ancient Greek philosopher Aristotle, who said, in making a speech, one must study 3 points. First, the means of producing persuasion. Second, the language. Third, the proper arrangement of the various parts of the speech. My students will recognize this illustration. It's a poster that's on the wall of my classroom. The following 9 slides will also be familiar to my students, as these are copies of notes that they have pasted into their grammar notebooks. Your argument must be logical and engage your audience's intellect. This is known as logos, according to Aristotle's techniques of persuasion. Your argument must be credible and trustworthy. Aristotle called this ethos. I advise you to pause the video so that you can read through the information on each of these slides. A successful argument appeals to your listeners' emotions, whether the emotion is fear, anger, or sympathy. You want your audience to be emotionally invested in what you have to say. This appeal to emotion is called pathos. Logos, ethos, and pathos. These are the 3 key components of a successful persuasive speech. Your speech must be based on evidence. This you will have gathered in your research and could form part of your visual aids. Diagrams, graphs, and statistics can be powerfully persuasive devices. If you wish to connect with your audience on a personal level, tell a story, a short one, in which you recount how the topic has impacted on you. An authentically told anecdote can be more effective on an audience than some boring lists of facts and figures. While your speech needs to be formal, there is a need for some vivid and memorable verbal images and language. Use figurative language in your speech to add color. You want your audience to picture what you are saying. Be aware that your word choice is of paramount importance. Words don't just have meaning. A carefully chosen word has power thanks to the connotations of that word. Read through the information on this slide so that you understand how important this persuasive language technique is. I am sure that you have studied some great speeches during your high school career. From Martin Luther King Jr. to Barack Obama, the great orators make effective use of repetition. This is called anaphora and can be used to emphasize and reinforce an element of your argument. Of course, you are all familiar with the use of rhetorical questions as a persuasive language device. They prompt thought and lead your audience to a particular conclusion. Try to make use of all of these techniques in your speech. Once you have your speech on paper, you need to rehearse its delivery. You must pay close attention to the rubric, as that shows you exactly where the marks are. Use a stopwatch to time yourself. Your mobile phone should have a stopwatch function. Get feedback from sympathetic but honest friends and family members. And the best way of learning is to watch good speakers delivering speeches. By good speakers, I mean this caliber of speeches. For example, Winston Churchill's 1942 speech, when he addressed the British House of Commons as Prime Minister during the darkest period of World War II. Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech from 1963, as he led the civil rights movement in the United States, is one of the most famous modern speeches. It is particularly relevant now, as the Black Lives Matter campaign sweeps around the world. And what about our very own Nelson Mandela? His Rivonia trial speech in 1964 is masterful. The end of communism was signaled by Ronald Reagan's Tear Down This Wall speech, delivered in Berlin in 1987. More recently, in 2014, actress Emma Watson addressed the United Nations. She put forward a case for gender equality, asking men to join in the struggle. Her audience is the same as your audience, an international organization. Take time to listen to these speeches. There are clips of them on YouTube, and they are readily available. If you would like to listen to a master orator at work, please find this YouTube video of Barack Obama delivering the commencement speech to the class of 2020. That's you. You'll find the speech on the Obama Foundation YouTube channel. You've planned your speech, written it, and rehearsed it. It's now time to record your speech. Because of the lockdown, the IEB has given permission for you to film yourselves delivering your CAT speech. You can use any method to do this. Please note that you must be visible on the screen delivering your presentation with visual images. Don't forget that you need to be speaking for a full 4 to 5 minutes. For tips on how to present yourself for a recorded speech, I recommend this YouTube video made by the University of Northern Arizona. It contains really excellent advice. The easiest way to record your speech presentation is on your mobile phone. You really don't need any specialized equipment, and there are plenty of how-to videos on YouTube that you can use. You're also welcome to make a PowerPoint video, which is how I make these video lessons for you. Once you've created your PowerPoint, click on Slideshow. And then click on Record Slideshow. Your screen should look something like this. I prefer to record these lessons without the video feature so that I can speak to you while I'm wearing pajamas and slippers, while my cat walks across my desk and I sip a cup of tea, all without your seeing this. For your cat speech, you'll have to enable the video function. Obviously, this can only be done on a device with a built-in camera or a webcam attachment. In the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, you should see the microphone and camera icons. Once you've enabled the video function, your picture should appear. You'll be able to move this picture of yourself anywhere on the screen when you have finished recording. Check the timing on your slide in the bottom left-hand corner. The digits on the left should be on 0. If they aren't, and you can see on this slide it's on 0.36, you need to clear the existing audio. You do that in the top right-hand corner. A drop-down tab will appear. You click on the label that reads Clear Recordings on Current Slide. If you click on Clear Recordings on All Slides, you'll lose your recordings on the other slides, which you don't want to do. Finally, you'll click on Record. Wait for the countdown to finish. It's 3 seconds. Say what you need to say for that slide. When you're done, click on Stop, and then click on Replay. Listen to yourself. If you're satisfied with the recording, progress to the next slide and repeat the procedure. To convert a PowerPoint into a movie, you'll need to click on the File tab in the top left-hand corner of your screen. Then click on the Export label that appears in the left-hand column. That will take you to this page. Click on Create a Video. Select the quality of picture you want and then click on the Create Video icon. It can take quite a long time to save the PowerPoint in this way, sometimes more than 20 minutes. At last, you can submit your speech to your teacher. For my students, there are 2 deadlines. The transcript of the speech must be uploaded on Turnitin before midnight on Tuesday, the 21st of July. The recorded speech must be with me by 10 a.m. on Saturday, the 25th of July. I shall be at school on Saturday morning in my classroom, should you wish to hand deliver the recording on your memory stick. If you have a YouTube channel, why not upload your speech and send me the link? Don't forget to use the private setting for viewing. That concludes our lesson on Task 5 of the 2020 IEB English Home Language CAT assignment. Please like the video and subscribe to the Mrs. M Teaches English YouTube channel so that other matrics can make use of these materials. Good luck with the speech writing and recording. I'm really looking forward to watching the presentations and listening to your points of view. Goodbye, everybody.